been too long. Day 22. Let's get started. Button. That's cool. Okay, because buttons can go with a doll, button eyes. Makes me think of Caroline. Let's look up different shapes of buttons. We all know the classic circle, but I feel like there's gotta be a bunch of random ones. Okay, no, it's pretty much just circle. Oh, there's a blue jay. They're fighting. Well, let's just start sketching some things and see what we come up with here. I'm going to move you, I'm so sorry. Okay, so what if we did something like some sort of stuffed animal that maybe has patches, if it is a pumpkin, for example. And then it's obviously kind of stitched together. It's kind of cool. We could do a couple of different things. So we have a pumpkin, and then we could do maybe a stuffed bat. We haven't done any bats yet. Well, I guess the first day was kind of a bat. And then the same thing here, where we give him two little button eyes and two fangs. That was weird. Sounded like somebody was here. Anyway, what if we did a little kid sitting, like he's making himself a friend? So what if he's sitting here cross-legged? It's a little off-center, that's okay. So what if he's sitting and he's sewing up a pumpkin or something? He has a little needle and there's like thread. And we could do something too, I did not need it all this big, where we just do a bunch of buttons of varying sizes. And we have the eyes, which I guess could be triangle buttons maybe. They just pop out more. And then we do a pumpkin that's like that. If I was using colored ink, then this would be kind of cool, I think. But since it's black and white, I don't think that's gonna turn out as nice as I'd hope. I'd rather go for this design. Or we could have him sewing up like his dog, and the dog could have spots that were also buttons, just larger buttons. His nose could be a big button, which I guess would also kind of be more like this. And we could give him a little snout, head, little body. Maybe his tail could be just something that looks more like rope or string. And then we could do these little wiggle signs or whatever they're called. Or maybe even do the slightly draw the tail and then erase that and make it gray. Maybe that'll look like it's wagging. Because I want this to look like he's alive. So it looks like he's creating him a living friend, himself a living friend. I could give him triangle buttons for ears. As long as they have the little buttonholes, I think it'll look like a button, right? We'll just do the stitches straight down. This is cute. Okay, I'm liking this. This is good. This is good stuff right here. So are these. Maybe still give him some patches. Okay. And then the kid, instead of sitting like that, you had the kid kneeling. And then we could have him sewing on one of his eyes. His eye or his nose, I feel like he needs to be attaching. Maybe the nose would be easier to see than the eye. Excuse me. Maybe this hand could be like holding his little chin and the dog's all excited. Give him some little eyebrows. Wait, what hand is that? Right hand? You might see his thumb holding this dog's little snout. Bring his body a little bit over here, which means his knee would be more like this and his foot would be more back there. We'll have a loose string straight out from there on this needle. And then how do you hold it? You hold a needle like this, I think, right? His other finger's out here or something. And then it comes down, his arm comes down into his shoulder. We could give him like a big button hat. That's kind of fun. And then it's like that's his job, is he makes creatures or beings out of buttons. Kind of make a stack of pancakes with them. Maybe even off-center them a little bit. I think that's fun. Okay, oh, hey, let's figure out clothes though before we continue, right? Let's give him kind of a fun, maybe patchwork, because he stitched it up himself. Maybe he's made it himself. So the collar's huge. And he's got patches on his pants, which are, a little baggy. So they're kind of flat on the ground here, and then goes to his knee, up to here, down to here. Yeah, I think that's kind of fun. Why don't we do that? I kind of want to try to do the Polaroid thing again. I really want to write the word down here, but we haven't done that on any of the other ones. Maybe we'll start with this one. I don't know. Day 22. Why not? Kid's hat in this rough area. Then we want his head right there. Do I want him leaning this way that much, or do I want to bring him in a little bit? Maybe we'll bring him in a little bit. Arm, leg. Well, this arm is actually here, but the clothes I want to be baggy like that. And then the dog's head will go here. We should have him looking up a little bit, like he's excited. So maybe raise up this hand a little bit. Now the dog's snout can rest kind of looking up at the guy. That's cute. His little chest, maybe like right here. Got his little feet and his arms. And we need room for the tail, which I never quite figured out if I want to do it. I think I'll just do it like a rope. That's fine. We're gonna try that effect. We'll see how it goes. And patches and buttons for spots. And maybe we'll just give a little smile because it's kind of hard to tell that the dog's happy other than this. It's also leaning really far forward. I like how straight up this dog was. So we'll bring his little tushy in a little bit. Okay, and then that allows me to have more space to do this tail thing. Yeah, we'll try that. And we'll just get this guy in. Start at the top with these buttons. And I have to draw a thickness to him too. And then our little dude's head. You can't really see his face as much anymore. We're just gonna bring his face down a little bit. And then we'll give him a slight smile with his little tongue out. Let's give him a big collar. Okay, wait, how does that work? I think your elbow is still down, and then it's more like this. And then his hand will kind of be out, some like that. Index finger here, and then these ones are kind of out here. With the needle and the thread, and then we'll loop the thread out like it's still loose. And then give him some sleeves. Give him some nice big sleeves over here as well. This is where we'll put patches. And we'll give him a little bling. One pant leg, do a couple of wrinkles. And then this one, thickness of this pant, I mean, you kind of maybe see that. Maybe just a couple of the wrinkles from him being on his knees, but that's it. Ooh, thumb and hand. We'll separate those fingers a little bit. We'll add some patches to the pants. Lovely. I guess do our tried and true brush. We'll start with the, I guess, hand on the dog's face. And I kind of want fingers to be a little bit, not be like super separated, but just a little bit. That's good enough. And then let's do the dog. I'm gonna draw the buttons on the dog first. You know we want these buttons to be triangles, so I'll put these in here, and then do the stitches down to the head. Don't like that tangent, gross. These little feet. Cute, very cute, I like it. Another little button up here. Oh, that was not as round as the others. Then we'll have his tail. And I'm a little nervous to do the wiggle effect, so I'm gonna put that off as long as possible. Oh, this dog's got some big eyes. Oh, wow. He's looking into this dude's soul right now. And then this real big button for her nose. That's not terrible. Patches. This giant collar. Another patch on it. And then this arm. Its sleeve is fine, I think. Give him his pants. Patches. I'm gonna try to get this centered on his head. Yeah, his head's a little smaller than I thought it was gonna be. We'll make do. Eyes. And I wanna give him his expression first because I can move the hat a little bit. Give him his necklace, which could be a button. Nice. Let's go ahead and try to do this hat. Yeah, that's good. This one. We'll do the buttonholes bigger on the top of this with some more thicker thread holding it together. Yeah, they're kind of rough circles, aren't they? I think I need to shade them, that way you can tell that there's multiple sitting there. Let's try this thing. I don't know how much to do either. Well, hopefully that works. We're gonna get this needle in. Oh, that's not bad. That's pretty straight. Oh, we should give him a button watch. Oh, that'd be so cool. I don't know if that'll look like it, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to give him a button watch. Okay, we all know that's a button, all right? That's a button watch. So I want the points for using the button one more time. Let's do the light from this side, I think, because I already have some dark lines over here. This edge, the button. Something like that, and then I could just darken this bit in. I feel like it needs to look more like a coat. And this is in, darkened in. Probably the underside of his hand. Maybe we should stop. Let's stop and go in with the gray, because if I can, or the eraser. So if I can lighten some of this, and then it looks a little less intense, maybe I'll keep going. Oh, it's probably supposed to narrow in towards the object that's moving, isn't it? Not run parallel to it. That would make sense. Oh, I was gonna do the little lines to show that it's sharp. Does that work? Kind of just looks like my pen smeared. Okay, that's cute. Look at that. Maybe we could do button borders. Should we do that? And then in between it could be thread. Oh, we could do stitched. That's what we could do. Okay, and then do we write the word button down here? I kind of feel like we could. Maybe center it, but yeah. Let's do that. Or I could put a little, I could do the, y'all, we should do a button for the O. Duh. Yeah, let's just do this. I'm gonna start by just drawing all the circle in. I'm gonna do all the buttonholes. Some of them have 2, some of them have 4. I'm also doing them different directions on purpose. Oh, this button was missed by quality control. Draw little strings. Cool. Oh, I didn't draw any of the strings on these buttons. I also did not erase the pencil. Look at that. That's cute. I think we excelled at getting the buttons in. So there you go. Day 22 button. We have our little button tailor, button dude, button crafter. No, we have a button guy. A guy who's who is this? We have a guy making a friend for himself, a dog with button spots. Then we did the cute button border. So I thank you all for hanging out with me today, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.